Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media, and that's movies, video games, TV shows. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. Before we get into the podcast, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on the video, or if you're checking this out on the podcasting platforms, leave us a good review, 5-star if you want, but whatever you think is appropriate. And we thank you for joining us today. Lottie, man, what's going on? Dude, this is it's a bit of an in-between week for everything, but surprisingly, there's a decent amount of stuff that's going on with superhero things, but in the meantime, what you been doing that's been nerdy, man?
Right now I'm currently watching Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, which is amazing, by the way.
I thought when you say
Um,
Bleach, I'm like episode 1,000. It feels like, good God, that show has been go. I know it's over, but still, that property's old as hell.
Ble- Bleach might be no, it's not close to 1,000. No,
I know it's
That's
not.
One Piece.
That's
That's
One
One
Piece,
Piece.
but it's telling that One Piece and Bleach premiered around the same time, and
It, but One Piece, the simple fact that One Piece is still going, is the reason why I'm not watching it. It's just One Piece. I don't want to cap this drag on, but then maybe this will get some pissed off One Piece fans to watch our video and say, "How dare you talk about our show?" One Piece fans, not everybody. People have lives. I don't have time to dedicate 1,000 episodes. If I didn't like, and here's the thing that One Piece fans just can't understand, that some people it's just not for them. Like literally, if you tell a One Piece fan, "Oh, I don't like One Piece. Oh, I'm not that big of a fan of One Piece. Oh, you didn't watch it. I watched 300 episodes. You didn't watch it right." Okay,
well,
okay.
yeah, maybe they need to do a One Piece abridged them or a One Piece Kai.
Yeah,
That might be
it
nice.
definitely needs a Kai, but unfortunately, the Kai probably have 900 episodes because the manga is like on its 120th chapter or some
Right.
shit like that.
Maybe they need
I mean volume.
a One Piece isekai. I'd watch that. Somebody just shows up or somebody in One Piece just shows up in the real world or vice
hmm
versa. I'd be with that. So it make sense is what I'm saying. But I think for me, I wish I was doing more cool nerdy stuff, but TV has got me in a death grip right now. One of my favorite shows of the last few years, Reservation Dogs, premiered today, and it got a tear out of me because it just does that. Just been watching like all sorts of sci-fi TV shows. I think I mentioned it before. I want to pump it up again, but watch They Clone Tyrone. That movie's great, and it makes you think. I've been thinking about it on and off for the last couple weeks, and I finally had to just review it because it's that kind of it's a weird ass movie with black folk in it and like hood black folk and weird shit happen in the hood that's not Leprechaun 3 or whatever the hell that was. I think it's worth watching. So, but anyway, this is the Supercast, and we're going to be talking about superhero things. And we got surprisingly in the midst of the strike and everything like that, post Secret Invasion, we've got a decent amount of news stories to talk about. Like, just and this is just quick, and we're not even going to get into it. But if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, do yourself a favor, go hit up Disney Plus because it truly is one of the best, and in my opinion, one of the best superhero movies ever. But also, it's definitely one of the better post Endgame, Marvel shows. I mean, Marvel properties. But also, there's been some movement on in the Spider Verse and into the beyond the Spider Verse in particular. Craven and Madam Web are gonna get new dates, and also they put a date on Venom 3. So we're gonna talk about that, what that means for Sony and the Spider Verse. Um, Kevin Feige, I can't believe it. We're gonna have to take him to task because he made a decision on a recent Marvel property that not only don't I agree with, I actively dislike it. And I can't believe I'm saying that, Lottie. We're going to talk about what Kevin Feige, what we're going to lay at his feet. James Gunn apparently is working with Gal Gadot for a new Wonder Woman. Is it a reboot? Is it a threequel? What is it? We're not really sure. We're gonna
I can't
figure
believe
that out.
this. It
Also,
also pisses me off slightly.
well, we're gonna talk about what that could mean for the DC universe going forward. Bully Maguire, or actually not a Bully Maguire, regular old Toby Maguire talks about his experience on No Way Home. And I think that's going to be fun to talk about. And then finally, we're going to review the Loki Season 2 trailer for the upcoming second season. So all of that, plus Harley Quinn Season 4 dropped the first few episodes, and we are going to review that. So we're going to be a good time all the way around. So Lottie, you ready to get into this news?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's hit it. So, as I said, go watch Guardians 3 and just prepare yourselves to go as, what do you call it, Lottie? What is James going to take you to?
He's gonna take you to the House of Pain.
Oh, and be prepared. What I want to say, this is just a short just editorial. You can watch our review, but be prepared to really fucking hate the High Evolutionary. Really hate him. Just want him just to die horribly, and also to just love Rocket even more. So that dropped today on Disney Plus. Go hit that up. So Lottie, we love Into the Spider-Verse. We love Across the Spider-Verse. Morbius, maybe for you not so much. I liked it well enough. We both like Venom 1 and 2. And there, we know there's plenty of other Spider-Verse stuff going on. We know Craven. We saw a trailer for that, and we saw some production stills and whatnot for the Madam Web movie that was filming earlier this year. Well, Lottie, would it surprise you that they are delaying, or they're delaying two of those, and they're actually sort of moving up one of them? Does that surprise you at all?
No, I mean, with everything that's going on right now, delays of anything does not surprise me. I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, I expect almost everything to be delayed. You know, if
Well,
it's not
yeah.
animated, I expect delays.
Well, even that Spider could be. They remember that we were like, oh, Beyond the Spider-Verse is coming out next spring. Nope. that was. Remember, I was like, oh, we don't even have to wait a year. You know why I said that? I was like, well, they've already dated it for next April, and surely they've been working on this 5 years. Surely they just worked on the other movie too at the same time. That's what they're ahead of the game. Lottie, hell no, they ain't been working on that other movie. Like, for real, they don't have much done on Beyond the Spider-Verse apparently. Plus, the actors can't come do their dialogue because SAG is on strike. So yeah, that I'm hearing 2025 at earliest. And
Jesus.
yep. Yeah, remember because you were like, "Oh, I gotta wait 5 more years," and I was like, "Nah, well, it's just 1 year, man. It's all good." I was totally wrong about that. Completely wrong about that. I should have known once they started talking about how they had all that crunch just to get Across the Spider-Verse done. I should have known the fix was in. I should have. See, Lottie, usually I'm right, but god dang it, I was completely wrong about that. And they're gonna crunch some more just to get this out in 2 years. So, well, you know what? I guess it's a good reprieve, but part of this is the strike related stuff. But also, they are delaying till next year, Kraven the Hunter, and not because the movie's not done, but because the actors cannot promote the movie, like at all. And I'm pretty sure if you ask, average person on the street, ask an average person at your job, ask who's Kraven the Hunter, and no one's gonna know who the hell he is, like at all. They don't know this guy, and so I understand they're just like, well, if we don't have the actors promoting it, how will we get the word out that this is something that anyone should see, especially, I mean, I don't know if you agree with me or not on this. Superhero movies have taken a bit of a beating this year. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we had Guardian of the Galaxy 3, which is great. Like, just a great movie. Across the Spider-Verse, which is a better movie, right? But also we had Ant-Man, and also we had Shazam, and also we had Black Adam last year, right? At the tail end of last year. And so, I mean, the track record's not so great this year, and probably Blue Beetle's not going to do that well. And The Flash did not do well at all, despite being a good movie. So, is this really in the environment you want to be introducing a brand new character, just the character himself, not the actors, not the directors, not the writers, not anyone to fucking promote this movie? Like, I feel like Sony's smart here. They're smarter than Warner Brothers, who are just like, yeah, full speed ahead with Blue Beetle. Who gives a fuck? We already shot it. We're just gonna throw it out and it's gonna sink or swim and probably sink. So,
And to be honest with you, like you said, even with Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, those movies underperformed in the sense of they should have made a lot more money than they did. Like in my opinion, Guardians of the Galaxy and both Spider-Man, they should have been both billion-dollar movies. You know what
oh,
I mean? Like
absolutely.
they should have been billion-dollar movies. Like the amount of like the amount of people talking about the movie on social media, it's just crazy that it didn't make as much money. Like they made money. Don't get me wrong. Sony and Marvel made money off those movies, but it didn't make. But if let's say those movies came out in 2021 or better yet
Pre-pandemic,
2022.
yeah, pre-pandemic.
I won't even say pre-pandemic. 2022. Because 2022, let's be honest. Batman made good money. Batman made a lot of money, especially compared to his budget only being 150 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's it called? Made Multiverse of Madness made some good money, even though it wasn't as reviewed as well as Guardians of the Galaxy. If I feel like if those movies came out the time that they did last year, guaranteed billions, billions. If they
Right.
would have came out
If
2022,
if they didn't have the stink of these other lesser movies to sort of
yeah.
drag them down, I agree with that. And it makes all the sense in the world to me for them to just be like, let's just get in a little more hospitable time where all these other things aren't dragging it down, and also where the strikes are over, because this time next year the strike will be over. Whatever the strikes are, they'll be over. Hell, they might be over in the next couple months, in the next month even. So I think it's a smart move. Same thing with not Madam Web, but Spider Verse. Yeah, they need all the time in the world because they're definitely not gonna be done working on it by next year. Madam Web is actually moving up a couple days, and I think that's them saying, hey, it was already coming out in next February anyway. We may as well, and it's female centric, so the calculus is girls want to go see girls doing girl things, I guess, and they're going to drag their boyfriends are going anyway. May as well play to both of them on Valentine's Day. Maybe that makes some kind of sense, but with the idea that, yeah, the pandemic's going to be over, we're not going to need to do any real extensive reshoots, not going to have to replace dialogue or much whatever. The strikes are just not going to affect it. So makes sense to me. But then they released the date for Venom, which is supposed to come out surprisingly next year. It says July 12th, 24. Do you believe that, Lottie? They're not. I don't. As far as I know, they haven't finished or even started shooting that. Do you believe that?
No.
It looks fake. Like, I'm like, okay, so less than a year from now, we're gonna get Venom, and y'all are in the middle of a strike. That sounds fake. The shit sounds super fake.
I that just sounds weird that Venom just shows up out of nowhere when no. And plus, I'm sorry, Venom could have we even heard anything about Tom Hardy even like advertising it?
Well, we know he's definitely working on writing it and everything. Well, I mean, we know that all that's been going on because they've been in development on it since after Venom 2 came out. But that's, to me, this may be a more of an indication that there's a shit ton more CGI in this one, because you don't need actors for the big CGI fights. That's just animation, right?
Yeah.
So there may be, if they're feeling confident that within a year they can deliver this movie, that means that they're probably like knee deep into all of the action and CGI that's going to make up a decent amount of this movie. So then after that's done, they just got to shoot coverage for when they're not in the suits or whatever, and you can accomplish that in a few months. You seriously, you can shoot the non CGI bits in like a few months, or it might not even be a whole 3 months. It could be 2 months. So I still think it's fake though. Just it's too close. It's way too close. That date's moving. I feel confident saying that. That's it's just too close to now.
Almost as real as the Flash coming out in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely happened in an alternate universe, in the universe we don't exist in, So, but anyway, at least we got some information. So, when these dates inevitably move, we will let you guys know all about them. Lottie, I know we refer to Kevin Feige as Lord and Savior of comic book movies. Upon his name always be blessings. The High Lord of comic book movies, and arguably one of the most successful producers in the history of Hollywood, and definitely at the helm of the most dominant comic book movie company, period. So all that being said, the man's not perfect. He's not a saint, he's not a god, and he makes some bad decisions. And I would argue that this bad decision makes me start thinking, like, have we not been blaming Feige enough for the things that are happening with Marvel? Which, Lottie, I'm a Marvel stan, right? I cop to that, right? And even I'm just like, what's happening? Because Secret Invasion, the finale of Secret Invasion, just fucking threw me. It's like, I don't even want to say it's bad. Like, half of it's good and half of it's not good. There's definitely some good stuff in there, but God, and the thing that was most egregiously bad in my opinion, even though I enjoyed watching it, but was bad narratively, was that big superhero fight at the end. The fight where two Skrulls, two people with the exact same powers, wrestle with each other, and then one of them eventually wins for no good reason. That's, to me, was something that turned a episode that was doing well and could have been good into not so good. Like, so I agree. I don't know if you necessarily agree that that's the particular thing that made it bad, but it definitely was not good, to me.
It's the biggest blotch on that final episode. Yeah. And it just, it was so, in my opinion, you were holding back a little bit of the punches, but I'm gonna just be honest. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in TV shows or movies. And I mean it not because the fight looked bad. It's because it literally just felt so damn out of place. Like, of all the Marvel TV shows that were out, this was probably one of the most grounded ones. And then we had a damn freaking literally end game level Captain Marvel fight, just out of fucking nowhere. Literally just out of nowhere. And I'm just watching it going like, they just can't help themselves. Like, at this point, the memes are true. At this point, it felt like I was looking at a meme. It felt like it was a parody. Like how you'll watch a parody channel, make a parody of like something, it felt like that what it was because
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
was like, wow,
It
wow,
felt like they said they did a pitch meeting. The pitch meeting on, I think it's Screen Crush,
yeah.
and it felt like that, literally. And so, speaking of pitch meeting, Kevin Feige is literally the reason why we got that fight. Like that ending, that CGI punch him up was all like he insisted that they do that. And they're like, oh, it was his idea, and he was like, we got to have them figure out, it's like rock paper scissors. This mother, ooh, hold on, I gotta pull it back a little bit. This dude literally said it's gonna be like rock paper scissors. That's how you describe this fight. That's how you just. That's your just. We're gonna do rock paper scissors between. Get the fuck out of here. And this was Feige's idea. Lottie, I cannot underscore how much. Not only am I disappointed that Feige. First of all, I was already disappointed that Feige didn't step in and say, "Don't do that." I am twice as disappointed that he's the one that said, "Let's do this thing," because I feel like he's lost the thread. He has lost. If this is one of his brilliant ideas, this could put into a different light a lot of the other "what are you doing" questionable decisions that have gone in terms of storytelling in the last, since Endgame. Like, I'm really starting to look back and be like, was that Feige, or was that Feige too too busy to not be able to step in and catch this before it's too late, or is that Feige putting his finger on the scale and making it happen? Like, I'm thrown right now.
I I feel like I've been talking about this with other people, and I really feel that James Gunn leaving Marvel is a bigger blow than anybody wants to talk about. Like, I really like, the more and more I sit back and think about it, it literally started like when you start seeing when they started having more misses than hits is when they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Like 2019, 2020. And I really feel it's a decision that they're going to live to regret unless they find some. You can be like, here's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and say Kevin Feige doesn't know what the hell he's talking about because he's been the head of Marvel for a good minute, you know. But it doesn't matter how good of someone you are if you don't have somebody of like minds that can tell you like, hey, it kind of looks stupid. Because let's be honest, Kevin Feige he's so on the top. Like the way Marvel is set up right now, who can honestly tell Kevin Feige anything?
Well, the last person, like, there's only one other person that's been there long enough that they could. That's Louis D'Esposito. Victoria Alonso's gone, because of that stuff that happened earlier in the year. Um, the producers underneath them, like, I want to say Brad Winderbaum is the producer, the executive producer on this, but I'll have to double check. But the point is like, you're right. Who the fuck's gonna tell the king that he doesn't have any clothes on? And
Yeah,
or in this case, who the hell's gonna tell Feige? And I think you're right. James Gunn would have been like, because remember, Gunn recently, like in the last few weeks, was talking about, you know, doing the big superhero thing, punch ups for no narrative purpose that doesn't do anything. That if it's not serving the story, why are you doing it at all? He literally said something to that effect in response to a fan asking a question. And I was just, all I could think when I read that, I was like, thank you for saying we don't need to do that shit at the end. Like if it doesn't actually, which is ironic because there is that at the end of Guardians 3. But if you make it from the beginning to that part of Guardians 3, the shit make all the sense in the everything that happens in that fight, that big superhero fight, makes all the fucking sense in the world. In fact,
yeah.
it doesn't just make sense. You want it to happen. You need it to happen because otherwise you're going to feel cheated out of catharsis. There was no fucking catharsis here. Gaia as a character, cool. She's a supporting character. What is her journey in this show? I want to know what it is. You know? I want to know why at the end she has to have this big dust up with this guy. Right?
There's no reason. She has no beef with him.
Why she does?
I mean, she does. I mean, narratively, yes, because she killed her dad and her mom. But let's just be honest. She had almost zero respect for her father. You know what I mean?
Well, even if that's true, the father angle. Yeah, I get that, but it's so fucking basic. Yeah. It's just base. The truth is that since this is an espionage show, right? She literally pretended to be Nick Fury, got real close to him. Why the fuck didn't she slit his throat then and there? There are ways that this would have made sense within the tone of this show that didn't involve suddenly a big superpower fight when we've been avoiding it.
Well, she couldn't exactly kill him because of extremists, but they both had extreme. In my opinion, I thought what they were going to do was when he was about to when he was about to do that, she would shoot the thing before he could transform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they could have contaminated the fuck. The point is, and I think what you were getting at there was no reason for that big punch up fight. It just seemed like an exercise in let's throw bread and circuses to the masses to keep them happy, and it just doesn't land right. And it is really disconcerting to me that Feige was the one that recommended that. And where was the justification? I get it. You want to see a big superhero fight. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Executive. Now make it make sense within the context of the story. And it just... did he say, hey, give her all the powers? If he said that, now I'm really worried. Because that's an awful idea. I'd like a terrible idea to give somebody all the fucking powers. Oh, anyway, Lottie, it's... what I say, in Feige we trust, but man, not like this. Not like this. And where else has he been, like I said, making these decisions, in other properties that are doing something, that are playing to this similar sentiment that we've got to throw, meat. We got to go throw some red meat to the audience because we can't trust them to just take a fucking story that actually makes sense, that doesn't end in a pew-pew fight. The last time, I'll even say this. I bet you, and I'm pretty sure if I go back and watch the documentary, Feige just okayed the ending of She-Hulk, but he didn't. That wasn't his baby. That wasn't his idea. Somebody else came up with that idea of subverting the Marvel ending, and he was like, okay, cool. Right? So someone else in She-Hulk was like, we always do this. Let's not do that. Let's just let's make fun of it, point out that we understand that that's what's happening, and then move on and do something else. And then they turn around in Secret Invasion and do the same fucking shit like they didn't learn a lesson. It's... this is let's just call it what it is. This is an L for Kevin Feige. Can we agree that it's a big L?
Yeah, it's they need it's like I said, every top guy needs somebody that can hold them, because they need to find somebody that can tell Kevin Feige, like, legit, man, that's not a good idea. Like, no. What do you mean there's a big CGI fight on an espionage show? The hell? No. But...
yeah. There's other stuff in that show, too. That's not the only reason why that final episode was disappointing. But, man, Kevin Feige, no. Let's not do this again. I don't like questioning I don't like questioning whether or not his decisions are good. So anyway, that's just our thoughts on that. We'll keep an eye on Marvel. Hopefully they'll do better with the next one. Speaking of James Gunn, Lottie, I saw this little thing. I was like, what? No, for real though. And that is, and also there's some implications that you may not like so much regarding a certain actor that's not coming back to the DCU. So Gal Gadot was getting interviewed and said, "Hey, yeah, I'm working with James Gunn and Peter Safran on developing the next Wonder Woman. That may not necessarily be a sequel, but could be a reboot or restart of the character within the DC universe. Now we know for sure this is not going to happen within the first 10 projects, but after that, who knows?" I found this interesting because for a couple reasons. One, obviously, the Wonder Woman, the first movie was great. Wonder Woman 84 was garbage. But Gal Gadot she's been playing ball with Warner Brothers and DC, showing up when they ask her to show up for cameos, just generally keeping her face in the DC universe, so that people remember, oh yeah, Wonder Woman, we like that first one. I think she's great as Wonder Woman, and that I would like to. I was disappointed, like, oh, maybe we'll never see her again when they were talking about that last year. But she seems to be indicating that no, there is a project at work, and like when they can line everything up, she will continue to be Wonder Woman in the DC universe. Which Lottie, I don't know if you had this question like I had, but why does it seem like the old DC universe people seem to be just coming to the new DC universe, except for a couple of notable exceptions?
There's only one person that is an exception, and how dare you not say his name? I'm just playing. But listen, why? James Gunn, I just gave you a whole thing about. I know it's not his ultimate decision, but damn, man, why?
I mean, it kind of is. Story-wise, it kind of is. Like,
why are they dogging my dog, man? Why are they dogging Henry Cavill, man? Like, from everything that I ever hear about Henry Cavill, he's a good dude. He cares about the source material. He helps directors, actors, and other people learn about the source material. He's very easy to work with. People love working with. I don't get it. I don't get why Hollywood doesn't like Henry Cavill, because it's not just DC. Hollywood itself does not like that dude. Every time he's on something, they get rid of him.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Well,
I don't get it.
As a devil's advocate, and by the way, I'm saying this as a person that is a fan of Henry Cavill, so don't get on my case about this. But Witcher season 3 has been whatever, and the stuff that I've been enjoying about Witcher season 3 almost has nothing to do with Henry Cavill. Like, his portrayal of Geralt in season 3 is underwhelming as hell. And I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the material, but still, I'm going to call it like it is. His portrayal of Geralt in season 3 has been underwhelming. And I'm being charitable with that. So, but I do like him in general. I liked him in the previous Mission Impossible. So, I don't know. But it's not just him. Affleck's not coming back either. So,
well, Affleck makes sense because Affleck.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it makes sense for Affleck. He's an older actor. He probably doesn't really want to, do all that crazy stuff to get back in like super extreme shape. And he's already publicly said about not wanting to be Batman anymore. So that makes sense why Affleck.
And also Ezra Miller. But why they aren't coming back either. But look, disrespect or whatever for Henry Cavill aside, I'm a huge fan of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Like absolutely.
Yeah.
I think she looks the part. She always looks so great when she's playing Wonder Woman. Like, look, yes, there are other women that could be Wonder Woman, but man, you have got to admit you are gonna have to do a good hard search to get a Wonder Woman to replace her. Like she is just that character, and not that no one else can play it, but man, like this actually, and also I think this actually raises a possibility about the future of the DC universe, which is that we're probably, and in fact, we are definitely getting more than one Wonder Woman, but that Diana may not be the Wonder Woman of this new iteration of the DC universe, because we know we're getting that Themyscira prequel series, right? And we also know that in the comics there are multiple Wonder Women, you know, that younger women and everything. And we also know that Diana had a sister, Nubia, who was a black Wonder Woman. So there's a likelihood that Gal Gadot may be not the center of Wonder Woman. She may be part of a larger, you know, I don't want to call it like a Green Lantern situation, but something like that, where she is one of many Wonder Women in the DC universe, and shows up for Justice League and all that stuff. So I love the fact that they're just working on it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I'm happy to see that she's back. That she's back doing Wonder Woman. If she might not be the Wonder Woman, I'm just happy to see her back, because it's one of those things, like you said, she's done her job. She's even though she's been in dying movies playing Wonder Woman, just waving. The last two movies she was Jesus. Whew.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, that wasn't her fault. She made them better, to be honest, with her presence. But and at least we know when she working with James Gunn, she is not gonna have someone tripping and falling into her titties. So I mean, that's a net win as far as Wonder Woman goes, I think. And also no Batman awkwardly hitting on her. So I'm pretty sure. And I'm also looking forward to, we know that we're getting a Guy Gardner. I'm looking forward to her punching the shit out of him. So we're just, I think we could win with this. I don't appreciate people getting up in arms about this. Like, there are some people that are getting, you know, how dare, because Henry Cavill, get the fuck over it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and Lottie, I know it bothers you about Henry Cavill, but seriously, it's time to move on. That he's not it anymore. And you know, we don't need a hard reboot and everyone gets replaced. No, that's not necessary. But I think Henry Cavill's Superman was divisive enough that, yeah, you probably need to start over. You know, get a new one and, you know, set the tone correctly. But Wonder Woman, I would argue, from what we hear about the new DCU, she could fit perfectly. Like, she's in that first movie, so aspirational. Like, that's the Wonder Woman. If we're gonna get more of that, gimme, like, just give me all of that. So, anyway, I'm sure we'll hear more about it. Some confirmation will be nice, but we'll talk about it when we hear about it. And speaking of you know, someone coming back to a role, Bully Maguire, as you. He's not a bully. I understand Toby Maguire is quite nice in real life. And he had some things to say about working on No Way Home. And you know what? I just want to talk about this briefly, because just, you know, reading his comments just made me feel good about the Spider-Man franchise and about No Way Home. Because in a way, it felt like a class high school reunion, you know. Though it just a bunch of people, you hadn't seen them in a while, and you just felt good. Like, oh man, I was wondering what you were up to. Like, you know, how's life been? And we just kind of catch up, and yeah, they kind of get out on the dance floor and show they still got the moves. You know what I'm saying? It felt like that. And you know, Tobey Maguire was just talking about how, you know, how collaborative it felt, and it. Here's the thing that really made me perk up. I was just kind of sat up a little bit. I was like, because he hadn't been in acting for a while, but he's like, yeah, it really kind of made me feel about like getting back out there again, like creatively. And I'm like, hold on, I'm like Hawkeye in Endgame. Don't give me hope. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't give me hope because I swear, if you're ready to get back in the suit again, my friend, I know people at Sony would absolutely love to see that. And he was just like, yeah, he's just working on Andrew and Tom. It just felt so good, and being on the scene with Willem and Alfred Molina again, like it was just all like basically it was a big old love fest. And I know a lot of people didn't like Spider-Man 3, whatever. I think seeing him,
Welcome.
seeing him in No Way Home interacting with Tom and Andrew and just genuinely being like that cool, yeah, as they said, the youth pastor version of him, and knowing that it was genuinely a great experience for him, so much so that maybe he might dip his toe back into acting again. I love it. It's just a positive thing, and I love to hear about that sort of thing. So, Lottie, I've rambled on a bit. You saw this. What do you think about what he had to say? And like, is this? Could this mean something? Should we get our hopes up?
I Wrong answers only. Get your hopes up. Get hype. Spider-Man 4 is coming, and
Confirmed. Spider-Man 4
and
confirmed.
and inside of that movie we'll get Miles Morales. Just get your wrong answers only. When it comes to Toby Maguire coming back to Spider-Man, I don't want to hear any right answers or calming down to stoking the flame. I only want to hear wrong answers. And the wrongest answer is that Spider-Man 4 has been confirmed. And that's all I want to hear. Everything else, shut up.
Oh man, for real though, it's it's as I was saying, it just makes you feel good that he had such a positive experience. I mean, we all had hugely positive experiences watching the movie, and it's good to know. Like, look, let's call it what it is. It was a gimmick, but sometimes gimmicks can really lead to great things. And I mean, once Sony like fails at Craven, like, and I hate to call like that. I'm sure I'm gonna like Craven, but once they failed at Morbius, or once they fail at Craven and making that a thing that happens, and once Madam Web limps along, they're gonna look back and be like, maybe we should actually do Spider-Man again, and not just a Spider-Man, many Spider-Man, because you go back to the well that works, and
Yeah, make a
so
Spider-Verse.
yeah, or let's just get that sequel to redeem Spider-Man after the whole Venom debacle that went on in Spider-Man 3. Let's redeem that character. Let's get Andrew Garfield back in the damn suit and finish that damn trilogy. Right? Let's do that. Let's get Tom going. Let's have them team up again. Let's have them team up properly in a proper, team up movie. Anything. Let's just get Toby back in the damn suit while he can still do it. So, anyway, it was just cool. I like to hear stuff like this, and we're rooting for Bully Maguire to make a return. So, but anyway, if anything happens, we'll let you guys know. And finally, Lottie, we got to talk about the Loki season 2 trailer. It dropped a few days ago, and as I understand it, it's a hugely popular trailer for all the Disney Plus Marvel shows. But who cares what all of the normies say? Who cares about what these people that aren't really dialed in? We got to talk about the hardcore, nerds, what they think about this, and so of course we're the hardcore nerds. So we watched it, and Lottie, man, what do you think?
Finally, what's the name? Realize he has powers again. Damn it.
Laser powers.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Loki finally realized he has powers again. I'm happy to see my dog back in because he's one of the highlights of this TV show. Like him playing, I can't. Why did I forget the actor's name?
Are you talking about Owen Wilson?
Yeah, Owen Wilson playing a semi-serious character with his mannerisms as well. It works. It really works. You know, Owen Wilson was a very big, like, huge part of the original show, and I'm happy that he's back instead of him dying off, which I was like, is this another like Marvel doesn't want to pay the actor anymore, so they kill him off type thing? Or oh, okay, he's back, thank God. Whew. And and,
Yeah.
and now they're like, nah, hey, all those guys that you thought we were gonna get rid of that used to have regular lives, yeah, we don't want peace, we want problems always. We're gonna start visiting them in their regular jobs. Damn, leave them alone, man. Let them have their lives, damn it. Nope. Mm-mm.
What's funny is I'm pretty sure, and you probably have caught on to this too, that a couple of people who were in the TVA in this new timeline that where Kang apparently runs the TVA. It appears that a couple of those characters have not been there, or I guess you would say not the character themselves, but their alternate versions have not been taken to the TVA. So that's why
Yeah.
we're seeing them in regular clothes doing regular things, and or not so regular in Eugene's his particular situation. He looked like he was in some pretty mortal peril. But beyond that, like I obviously Victor Timely, aka who eventually will become Kang, he is his origin is a thing. But also Loki is kind of he's glitching. Let's just call it what it is. He's glitching, like he's in Spider Verse.
Listen, I immediately was like, yeah, they definitely got this directly from
It's
Spider
like we
Verse.
told. It's like he's time slipping. It's totally not. It's not glitching because it doesn't have any artifacts or anything. It's glitching. Damn it. Let's stop playing. Um, and we saw Sylvie. We saw Victor Timely. We saw I forget what's her Renslayer. Got to see her. Um, and there's I mean clearly Kang is the big bad, but like how do they deal with him? How does Loki convince this Mobius, who is not the Mobius that he knows, it's a different one? How does he convince him to work with it? And also, how does he stay under the radar in the TVA? There's a lot of unanswered questions in this. But I mean, Lottie, I don't know about you. I thought the trailer was fine. Like, did it get you excited? Like, I don't know if it. I was like, this is cool. Things are happening, but it didn't really raise my excitement in any serious way.
No, it's just more of like, okay, let's see what they're gonna do with Kang. I'm still to this day, I will reiterate that I don't get Marvel's handling of Kang. I still don't get it to this day. Like, why why have his main showings in a TV show and a movie that in an Ant-Man movie? Like,
Well, I mean, the idea is sound. In Ant-Man, boost up Kang, be like, oh, you better go watch Loki if you want to know what's really going down. But and Ant-Man did fine. By the way, did fine. Didn't do great. It did fine. So it's probably going to do what it's meant to do. But people are already ready for Loki season 2 anyway. So I don't know how much that really did. But I think as a couple opening salvos in the whole Kang war, I mean, this is not bad. I just like people are starting to complain about needing to do homework for the MCU. Well, one, it's a shared universe. What the fuck do you think? I don't understand people being like, "Well, why do I have to watch this in order?" Because that's the way shared universe. That's like saying, "Oh, well, I should just be able to pick up the 18th Alex Cross novel and then." Yes, you can pick up an 18th Alex Cross, but if you want to know the deeper lore, if you want to be like, who is this character again that they're referencing? Well, bitch, you need to read the other books so you know. Like, don't be asking me questions because you don't want to do your homework. Like,
well,
yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the sentiment of wanting to be able to jump in anywhere, but that is not the way shared universes work. It just
I,
isn't.
here's my thing. I agree to a point, and the point I mean, as in, like, I understand what you mean by if you want deeper lore, yes, but not the main lore. Like, main lore should not be. It's like my problem with Kingdom Hearts, that I have to play a fucking mobile game to understand main lore of Kingdom Hearts. That's stupid. That's idiotic. That is
Hmm.
absolutely stupid. The main villain's backstory should not be in a TV show.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
I think it will prove that I think that the whole thing with Victor Timely will probably end up being his backstory, but not the most important backstory. It's going to say where the first Kang came from, but not where the other ones came from. So we already know
Yeah.
from Ant-Man that Kang. We already know the gist. Everything you need to know about Kang and is all his variants. You learned in Ant-Man. So if you can't be
Yeah.
bothered to watch Ant-Man, then I don't know what the fuck to do with it. That's like saying, well, oh, I couldn't be bothered to watch. I couldn't be bothered to watch. Civil War or something. So now I'm trying to figure out why the hell are the Avengers fighting each other? Because it's in Civil War, man. You got look at least do the bare minimum of watching the fucking movies. Um, yeah, but also they need to train people to be like, no, bitch, really, you need to watch the TV shows. Like enough of this being a dilettante. Don't if you're saying you're invested in the MCU, be invested. You know. But
Yeah.
I know that's unpopular for some people, and I get it. But god damn, am I tired? It's like being the IT guy. Like everyone's like, well, how do you do this with Windows? Motherfucker, like, do some homework. There's Google. You can do it. This you don't need to ask me every damn question. And I don't like having to fucking explain things to people when you literally just have to go watch something. So yes, I'm gatekeeping. I'm sorry. That is damn annoying. And it's not like Disney Plus is so expensive or that you can't just use somebody else's damn Disney Plus. So, anyway, this looks like it's going to be cool. But I think the trailer's fine though. And it's coming out soon, October 6th. So we're something like what, a couple months away. So
Yeah.
I suspect we'll have one more trailer leading up to the premiere. Probably I'd say like third week of September. So we'll see. We will see. But anyway, I think it's all of our thoughts on that and all of our thoughts on our news. But maybe we missed something. Maybe you didn't agree with something we had to say, or you just wanted to leave a comment. The comment section is for that, so do that down there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, so now let's jump into this Harley Quinn review. Lottie, Harley Quinn is motherfucking back, and she's kind of square now. Is that fair to say? She's kicking it on the good side of the law, but also she's dating, in a very deeply committed relationship with Poison Ivy, who happens to be the new CEO. I'm quoting Lex Luthor there, the CEO of the Legion of Doom, and it's going to be kind of tough for a hero and a villain to have a working relationship, that a good healthy relationship. But if Batman and Selena Kyle can do it, god dang it, our favorite lesbian couple can do it also. So in addition to that, we also have foolishness with the glass ceiling at the Legion of Doom. Mayor Joker is still the mayor, but he's still a bad guy at heart, and trying to find some quality time. Because all that superheroing and supervillaining, you need a break from that. So, and also what's going on with Clayface, what's going on with King Shark, all that stuff. So Lottie, God, I feel like this is gonna be a wide ranging thing because it was 3 episodes, an hour's worth of TV. But Joe, what's your general impression of the first 3 episodes before we get into specifics?
Oh man. So I I think so far this might be the weakest season. So far for what I've seen. It's not it this season hasn't grabbed me like the other seasons would in the first couple episodes. I feel like it's watching a more tamed Harley Quinn. And I mean not just because of I mean definitely the third episode made me realize this is Harley Quinn again. But it just I don't know. It doesn't feel it doesn't give me that Harley Quinn vibe, for what I've seen so far collectively. But I like it. I do like it. Maybe because the characters that I really enjoy are not there. Like I feel like the show does miss Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne and Batman. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And
Him not
Clayface.
and
And
Clay, like yeah,
Clayface.
and Clayface. Them not being in the show is kind of like a. It's like it's almost like a sore. You can you notice it. You
Mm-hmm.
notice it.
Yeah. And we're missing and King Shark he's sporadically in, and we don't have Dr. Psycho, and more so, and I didn't until I just thought really thought about who is missing. Kite Man. No Kite
Yeah,
Man. That is I didn't I know he's got his own show coming, but the lack of Kite Man is kind of tough because it like his presence was just very good. I'm gonna echo your sentiment. I thought these first few episodes were fine. Like they had some real highlights, but I feel like there's an edge missing to these episodes. Like I get the edge when Ivy's in there. Like I really like the Ivy stuff, especially her trying to deal with the foolishness with the Legion of Doom and all of the misogynist stuff, and then Talia al Ghul showing up and kind of setting her right and getting everything on course. I liked all of that stuff, and I'll even say I liked,
um,
I like the whole bit with with not Robin with Nightwing and his butt and and them pretending to be like, you know, pretending to be photographers so they can lure in Doctor Pig. That all that stuff. I like the way Harley interacts with the Bat family. I like even the bit with Alfred. What I think doesn't quite work though is just that without being on the straight and narrow makes Harley a little uninteresting. Am I
yeah,
wrong? Am I wrong about that? I feel like it wasn't as funny. Like there was a bunch of jokes, and yet I wasn't like busting out laughing. Maybe that first episode, and but the third episode where they're in Vegas, just I kept seeing what they were going for, and yet I wasn't really moved, and it felt weird.
yeah.
Uh,
And you said a mouthful too about that's one thing I gotta say. How dare you introduce Talia for one episode?
but she was a boss bitch though. Hey, give it this much. The way she was, I mean, you know what the vibe she gave, and I want to see them in the room at the same time because I know it would be epic. But it was straight up Selena Kyle, but like way more of a boss. Like, am I wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever
Yeah,
Selena was in the previous seasons, like she always owned the room and everything. She ran shit, and this is the same vibe. And I was like, let get her on the screen some more, cause every time she rolls up, you know, everyone's just kind of like, she got everyone scared. She got everyone. I mean, didn't she literally kill somebody with like a pin or something because they had a stupid ad pitch?
yeah,
I was like, this is good. Like, I want that. That's what I think. That's what I miss about Harley because
yeah.
she's reeled in quite a bit.
Yeah, and like you said, another thing is, the other character because the thing about it is Harley Quinn is now focusing so directly on Harley and Poison Ivy, and like you said, when Harley is now a hero and can't just go wild, she's not as funny anymore. And let's just be honest, Ivy is not a funny character on her own. She's funny with other people around her. So, and like you said, you've gotten rid of so many of the supporting characters. I loved Batman. Batman Batman and Harley Quinn is freaking hilarious. Joker and Harley Quinn was hilarious. That's one of the reasons why I love the third seasons so much. Well, was it the fourth season, because Joker was in it so much. You know what I mean? Same thing with Batman, but you know, you say more Bane, and I only seen him once. You know what I mean? Like, you don't promise something that you can't keep. You know, just you know,
Yeah,
it's. I feel like it'll get. I'm fully believing that it will get better. I'm not over here like
you're right.
rushing it, but it's just it gives you a bit of a sinking feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it feels like they're missing aspects of the show that were present in the previous season, and they all
Hmm.
came together to make it a very funny show, a show you were looking forward to, that for me had me laughing out loud. And these characters being missed, I think you're right, focusing on just Ivy or just Harley or even just the Bat family. The Bat family's not funny. Like, they
No.
just are. They're more funny in contrast to the villains.
Yeah.
And Bane, it's Bane's fun. He was in the second episode, but it's just like it's not enough. Like, it's weird that he as a character, he's doing a lot of the same things he was doing before, but it's just not as funny dealing with Nora, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
Even Nora should have been funnier, but she just I feel like there's a bunch of jokes in here, and they're trying hard, but they don't pass the test, I guess, because
No.
previous seasons were much funnier. That being said, there are plenty of action bits in there that are quite fun. The whole little bit with them getting, chasing down Professor Pig, that was a good time. Um, the fight between Clayface and Ivy, that was a good time. The whole little bit with Alfred, I liked everything that was going on with Alfred in the previous. And I get that was the joke was, oh, Alfred's just a butler, and sometimes he is just a butler, but sometimes he kicks ass. And he has a plan to kind of, there's a butler in Blackgate, and he's like, I'm gonna be the butler in Blackgate. How dare he's getting ghosted by Bruce Wayne,
Mhm.
DJ Bruce Wayne, you know. So I get that. Like, I see where all that's coming from. I just wonder where, uh, how many more they could have had a second or third pass at the script, or fifth or 16th, who know, at the script, to maybe get some funnier stuff in there. But I think you're right. The formula is not being, it's kind of like it's like you want, Coke, and you get, Dr. Thunder, or Sam's Choice or something like that. It's close. Like, yes, it's definitely cola, but it's not that special, Coca-Cola that you're looking for. And which isn't to say that I didn't like these episodes. I had much higher expectations, I think. Uh, but I am looking forward to the next episode. So uh, I think we sort of already stumbled into spoilers, but I don't, honestly. There's not too much spoilery stuff in these episodes. I mean, probably, I guess, if I'd say my highlight of the three episodes was definitely the whole Dick Grayson finally embracing his, like, when he was doing his photo shoot. I was just like, he went from so, I don't care about being on the top sexiest superheroes thing, to doing pinup shots and everything. I was like, this is hilarious. Like it is straight. That's straight up hilarious. The way he embraced his inner OnlyFans, and then almost got his butt taken. That was a genuinely good and hilarious bit. Um, and the whole thing with, Harley, she's like, I'm gonna have an alter ego so I can be a bad guy on the side. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
So
definitely not gonna work.
and
And
also
then they
and
just
also yeah, go ahead.
Bruce Wayne just being a DJ, and they just left it hanging. Just like,
I,
wait, what?
they missed the whole. He didn't even do like the beep 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 beep. Oh come on. And here's the other thing. King Shark maybe fell off the most
Yes.
in this season. I'm glad his baby mama finally gave birth to those damn sharks, because I'm like, I need King Shark to come back and like, really show up. I was just like, man, get off the screen with your running around over this other shark. It wasn't funny to me. Not really. I do like the dude, the whatever the fuck his name is, that's sniffing blow all the time. He's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure Harley's gonna end up murdering him before too long, but he's been pretty funny. And who else? Clayface was when we finally got to see him, but he's like he was less funny because now he's all full of himself. So I'm just like, when are we going to get back to the status quo? That's what I'm trying to say. I know we shouldn't want to get back to that, but the status quo was hilarious.
Yeah. Listen, it makes me want to go back and rewatch the first season again. Because I'm just like, you just miss how everything was. It's just all the characters are just not in the show anymore. Or just, they're not appearing really that much. It's just,
Or maybe we just need to find out who the big bad is, and maybe that's another thing, is that these first few episodes have been a little aimless. They really are kind of 3 episodes setting up the status quo for the season, I suppose. And so there's no real, main thrust of the storyline. They're just trying to figure out how to make their separate, their jobs that are opposing each other work. And we kind of saw a little bit of the crack in their relationship at the end of the 3rd episode of Harley deciding to go move in with the Bat family to like be more integrated into their their whole situation. And I feel like if anything, I feel like we're gonna see them break up by the end of the season. It just feels like there's too much going on between their jobs for this to work out. And which makes all of their, being hot for each other and everything in the elevator seem like more desperation to try to keep it together. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
You're not reading too much into it.
But I'm excited to see the rest of the season. So I'm looking forward to it. I think they're gonna pick it up quality wise, but we shall see. But anyway, I think those are all of our thoughts on these first 3 episodes. What did you guys think about them? What did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comments section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or @supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps with the algorithm so that more people see this channel and see these videos. And we appreciate everyone who does that, helping us to grow so close to 200 subscribers. So, do us a solid, hit that subscribe button so we'll get to 200. And I promise you, once we get there, we're going to start doing a lot more cool stuff on the channel. So hook us up. And of course, I can't do the Supercast by myself. I need my good friend Lottie and all his insight and knowledge about comic book stuff, to really add flavor to the Supercast. So, Lottie, where can they reach you on social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram. My Instagram is Anukinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. And of course, my YouTube channel, which is Anu Kinihun Animations. Yeah, I'm working on a new animation now. Took about a week off to recharge. I'm working on my 1,000 follower celebration animation now, and then after this one, I'll be back to my regular schedule. So if you guys have time, please like, follow, and subscribe to my channels.
Yeah, you guys go and show Lottie some love, and just keep trying to help us grow. We're doing all this good nerd stuff because we love it, and we love to share it with other people. So come back next week. I'm sure we're gonna have plenty more news. We'll probably talk about the strike and just generally get ready to nerd out on some superhero stuff. Until then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.